EU is really important. Then, from the point of view of research, I will refer to the MFF and the latest figures that we heard from the Commission, which are tabled for decision by the Parliament and the Council. Talking about priorities, it is visible that research and innovation is of highest top priority, because this is one of the fewest, together with education, which is very closely linked with research and innovation, fewest traditional headings that get increased. Close to 100 billion for the 7-year period starting from 2020 will be allocated in this area, because we think all collectively that this is important. So from research and innovation point of view, this is a real opportunity and we have to grasp it. From the point of view of Western Balkans, many things happened lately. We had a strategy that was adopted on the 6th of February. We had a report that was adopted country reports that were adopted mid-April. A lot of elements are coming together to increase the conviction in the Western Balkans that there is an EU enlargement perspective for the Western Balkans. So I'm really happy that we have this conference in this very important time, and many speakers were saying that the timing of the conference is really crucial, also because in two weeks' time we will have a very important summit, a Western Balkan summit that will take place in Sofia, and the heads of state will decide on many measures that will facilitate the integration of the Western Balkans and how to materialize the enlargement perspective of Western Balkan 6. Now, the main topic of the conference was how to transform research and innovation into growth, jobs, how to employ this very high capacity that we have in Europe, but also in Western Balkans, into economic growth and competitiveness. Competitiveness, as you said, industry was all the time, but competitiveness was the other twin word that was the target of this method that we presented as smart specialization. But also, we try to be very comprehensive, because it's not only the method that is needed, but also the vehicles. So that's why we had a whole strand of technology transfer, which is the vehicle, how to translate the method into reality, because many of you said that the intermediate institutions to manage the commercialization of the product from research and to go to industry and economy, and to overcome the valley of death, are missing. So technology transfer with all of the institutions, clusters, technology parks, industrial parks, anything that can be an intermediary, was also tackled in our conference. We tackled also another vehicle, type of vehicle, the financial vehicle. And we had a couple of very interesting presentations with all the opportunities that are available to all of us, and specifically also to the Western Balkans. We talked also about the enablers, because the digital transformation is an enormous enabler of smart specialization. It is an area of innovation. It is an area of overall general enabler for economy. So we try to be very comprehensive in our agenda, and I heard already some very good remarks also from some speakers saying that it was really complete. I'm very happy to hear that. I really hope that you have a lot of takeaways. With regards to the smart specialization, we have a lot to learn. We have the method, but it is evolving. Please remember, one of the most important elements of this method is the dialogue. We call it EDP, which is not excessive deficit procedure. This is entrepreneurial discovery process. This is about dialogue within the quadruple helix, not starting, because everybody is important, the science community, the business community, the administration and political community, and the civil society. This is about a non-interrupted dialogue, so not just to create a strategy and then everybody goes home, but a continuous dialogue that brings cultural change, different mindset, so that we work together to see in which area of research we have to concentrate and prioritize in order to translate this effort, investment and research effort into the best results and highest impact for economy and jobs. Some people say that will bring less jobs. No, it will be different quality jobs, because nobody is interested to create jobs that will disappear in 10 years or even 1 year time. That's why we captured also the digital transformation element, because there a lot happens with regard to sustainable jobs and how they're going to evolve. So it's about dialogue between the elements of the quadruple helix. It's about dialogue between institutions. And please remember, it is important that institutions talk to each other. Ministries, various governance levels, regional authorities with national authorities. It is about dialogue. And it is about dialogue at regional level. So we had this very nice last session about regional cooperation that can be taken at different levels. Western Balkans, Southeastern Europe, Danube strategy is a macro-regional, Adriatic strategy is another macro-regional strategy. So we have EU level, UN level, all levels. I'm happy that we made the link with the UN level and OECD in this last session. So cooperation and dialogue. Cooperation is what misses not only in this region, it misses also across Europe. A lot happens in this regard. And probably the next generation of smart specialization process will be how to make cooperation much more instrumental, so that we don't pick our priorities only as a result of the EDP within a region or within a country, but also on the basis of the mapping of cooperation links and potentials. That's why in the Joint Research Center we established regional platforms by theme, so that everybody from Europe on a separate theme cooperates. We talked about education. It came across so often. Human capital is crucial. So we have to link smart specialization and the human capital development. And I'm happy in the last session here, parallel session here, we saw one of the projects that we are developing of linking the smart specialization with higher education and education in general. So there is a lot there that was set. We will have all these presentations and all the richness of the discussions uploaded on our conference site, so you will be able to see everything that went on throughout these 2 days. You will be able to see all the participants, because a lot happened also, and I saw it in the corridors. It's about networking, so informal dialogue, not only formal dialogue. And at the end, I just wanted to say that it's obvious that we all contribute with our help. We saw how OECD contributes, how the Regional Cooperation Council contributes, how the Berlin process in general contributes, and the UN. And actually, we as JRC do a lot of work on the Western Balkans. And by the way, Mrs. Kisilevska, we have quoted this huge edition that you showed to us. We quoted in our report on how to support the innovation agenda for the Western Balkans, which is our latest contribution from the Joint Research Center. It is only a piece of work related to innovation, but as a matter of fact, we've done a mapping of how much we do for Western Balkans only in the Joint Research Center, and it appears that almost every study, almost every tool that we establish and develop is covering also the Western Balkans. So I'm happy also that Atanas Kochov have presented the regional handbook. So that is the handbook for the regional authorities, which collects a lot of knowledge that can support the regional authorities. It is equally valid for the Western Balkans as well. So a lot is there, a lot is out there. We are working together, and actually the mapping of innovation potential, I'm absolutely positive now, it has to be combined with mapping of all the initiatives that are out there, so that we can probably bring us together and see how we can align, how we can make our initiatives smart. So what we talked about today, smart specialization, technology transfer, digital transformation, regional cooperation, it's all about bringing up higher the engagement, commitment, and ownership. I really hope that you will take back home a lot of energy. We have to keep it up. Our hand is stretched to help you. From my accession times, because I'm Bulgarian and I was in the accession team, I remember that the Joint Research Center was the technical support and scientific hand that helped us in all setup exercises. So use us. We are there to help you. And at the end, I would like to pass my thanks. And I would start with the thanks of the Palace of Culture that hosted us. It was really difficult to put together an event in this setting, which is a presidency setting with a lot of security, a lot of logistics. And I would like to thank very much the JRC teams for the enormous and high quality work that you've done. And on the organizational side, we had Mark with his team, and I will say specifically Alessandro, Andrea, Katrin, Ivan from A3, Emanuela's team. So it was really a huge team that was working on that. I would like to to thank all the colleagues that helped for the heavy content of the conference. And here, of course, I will specifically mention Alessandro, Manuel, and the whole team around. I will specifically thank Giancarlo, who is in all the networks I realized. Elena and all the team, because I don't have the time to enumerate all of that, all of the colleagues. And I want to help to thank my own team, Tsvetana and Steven, that were all the time in the middle of all the context. Thank you very much, colleagues. I would like to thank very much the speakers. Very high quality. Thank you for accepting this invitation. That made the quality of the conference and the usefulness of the conference. And many thanks to all the participants. I see a lot of stamina, probably because the topic is so important. Thanks a lot to everything. And I would like to invite you once again to the exhibition that is set up of what the JRC is doing. A lot of messages of evidence-based policymaking. This is exactly what we are doing. So visit our exhibition once again in the main hall. We heard already some initiatives of transferring this exhibition elsewhere. We will travel, but now it's here. Use this opportunity, have a glance at it. And if we can be of further help, we are there to help you. Thank you so much, and have a nice weekend and safe journey back home. Thank you.